Hello, this is Alexia Trinidad, and this is my speech. That's my audience. Good afternoon, everyone. Imagine making one of the most greatest discoveries in modern physics, only to find out that somebody else has received the Nobel Prize for your work. Most would feel either disappointed or forgotten. However, this is what happened to Chen Shangwu, who's one of our most brilliant experimental physicists in history. Today, I'd like to introduce Chen Shangwu, whose groundbreaking experiments transformed our understanding of physics, yet she was never awarded the Nobel Prize. As a biochemistry student, I find Wu's story especially inspiring because it shows that hard work and dedication can change the world even when recognition isn't guaranteed. Whether we're students working hard for our careers or simply trying to make a difference in the world, I think her story reminds us that impact is often more important than the awards we receive. First, I'll talk about Wu's story, early life and career. Next, I'll explain the experiment that changed modern physics. And finally, I'll discuss why she was left out of the Nobel Prize and the legacy she left behind. So, let's start with her early life. Chen Shengwu was born in China in 1912. She developed a passion for science at a very young age and earned degrees at physics before moving to the United States to continue her education at UC Berkeley. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, Wu quickly became known for her incredible precision in experimental physics and eventually became one of the world's leading physicists. During World War II, she contributed to the Manhattan Project, helping scientists improve nuclear technology. She later became a professor at Columbia University, where she continued conducting groundbreaking research. The Columbia University Department of Physics also highlights that her work earned her an international reputation as one of the greatest experimental physicists of her generation. And now that we've looked at her background, let's examine the discovery that made her famous. In 1956, two physicists, Sung Dao Li and Chen Lingyang, proposed that a scientific rule called parity might not always be true. At the time, scientists believed nature always behaved the same way as if viewed in a mirror. However, no one was able to test their theory, and that's where Chen Shangwu came in. She designed a very difficult experiment using radioactive cobalt atoms. Her results that showed that parity is actually violated during weak nuclear interactions, completely changing what scientists believed about the universe. According to the American Physical Society, Wu's experiment became one of the most important discoveries in the 20th century physics because it overturned an idea scientists had accepted for decades. Without her careful experimental work, Li and Yang's theory could not have been proven. And although her discovery changed physics forever, the recognition she received was very different from what many expected. Just 1 year later, in 1957, Li and Yang received a Nobel Prize in Physics for the theory that Wu had successfully proven through her experiment. Unfortunately, Wu was not included. According to the Nobel Foundation, the Nobel Prize was awarded only to Li and Yang, despite Wu providing the experimental evidence that confirmed their theory. Even though she never received the Nobel Prize, Wu earned many other honors throughout her career. The National Women's Hall of Fame notes that she became the first woman to serve as president of the American Physical Society and inspired generations of women pursuing careers in science. Today, many historians believed her exclusion from the Nobel Prize is one of the greatest oversights in scientific history. To conclude, Chen Shangwu revolutionized modern physics through her groundbreaking research, even though she never received a Nobel Prize. Today, we've learned about her early life and career, the experiment that changed physics forever, and the lasting legacy she left behind despite being overlooked. I'd like to end by returning to the question I asked at the beginning. Imagine making one of the most greatest discoveries in science, but never receiving the highest honor for it. Chen Shengwu reminds us that true success isn't measured by awards of fame but instead by the impact we leave on the world. Because of her work, modern physics was forever changed, and her legacy continues to inspire scientists today. Thank you.